Spanish school, and today I don't like my hair. Alright, so I want to tell you something about my city, Bogota, Colombia. If you are traveling there, I am going to give you in this video tips where to live in Bogota, Colombia, where to stay when you are visiting in Bogota, Colombia, papas. I really love Bogota. People disagree. Some people think it's gray and it's a city. It has everything that I love about a city. So pros, and then I'm gonna say cons, and then I'm gonna say where. So pros, it's very culturally and intellectually rich. Bogota is such a cultural and intellectual city. If you want to listen or go to the theater or to classical music, that's gonna be mostly in Bogota. If you want to have a big events, entrepreneurs, startups, investors, Bogota is the place. International cuisine, Bogota. Start with this map that you can see. So in this map, you can see that when these kind of areas that are like either rolos, we rolos know, we consider them dangerous. What is Kennedy or Simón Bolívar or Barrios Unidos, we consider them dangerous. We don't really go there unless we live there, and we have to just live there, but like that, those are considered not commercial and a little dangerous. Some depends. If you have family there, if you have like extended family or something, feel free to go, because they know the area. People who live there know where exactly is safe. Me personally, for example, I was never related to people who live in the area that can tell me this is safe, this is not safe, this is a cool neighborhood, this is not. So just in doubt, just don't go. Let's start with La Candelaria here. Beautiful. That's my favorite area. Is it safe? It is safe in the right timings. This is what you have to understand about Bogota, safety, and Colombia, and timings. It's all about the timing. If you go in timings where it's the right amount of people, the right amount of daylight, you're gonna be fine. If you go in a sketchy time at night, it's not gonna be ideal. Don't try to go wandered at any time. Try to plan exactly. So in this area, it's my favorite. I really love it. It's great. The main universities of the country are actually based there, that are Los Andes. You have La Javeriana a little far. You have La Tadeo there, Rosario, El External, I'm not sure about that one. But anyways, so you have main universities there. Beautiful, amazing, great, 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 great. So the thing is, there are so many historical landmarks. This is the kind of place where you can be, for me, in my idea, like be transported towards the time. You can visit the public library that I love. I really, really love. If you like music, they have private pianos that you can have completely for free to practice. You have a lot of books. It's just amazing. They have a lot of, if you really understand a little Spanish and you kind of want to understand what's going on, what kind of things you can go. There's so many events, like book readings that are for free, seminars. It's amazing. You have museums, great museums, emerald houses, but let's go back to the museums. You have the Museo de Arte Moderno that I'm definitely going to show in a video because it's amazing. You have a very famous Colombian architect that is Salmona. You can see his whole designs towards this area because he designed, that's my favorite architect, by the way. So you have that. You can see the Plaza Simón Bolívar when there is like a national kind of concern that people protest for, it's always there. It always end up there. It's close to the Casa Presidencial, the presidential house. It's just beautiful. I really like it. You can have the most bohème kind of cafes and libraries and amazing people, just amazing vibes. You're just gonna love it, I think. If you are traveling light, like kind of, let's say, low budget hostel life, this is your area. If you like young too, this is your area. Be mindful of your surroundings at night whatsoever, and also try and avoid crowds when you put things in your pocket, or just don't put things in your pocket at all, or in the back of your in your backpack, in the like in place that people can put their hands on, just that. But they have a lot of they have, in my times, I hope it still exists, there is a thing that is called Septimazo, where they close the main avenue, the main carrera, and like there are a lot of street performers, there is a lot of street music. It's just beautiful. I'm just so in love with that place, and in the right timings I will go. If you are more in like a little higher budget, and I would say visit this place, but don't stay there to sleep. Just like enjoy the place for what it is, for all the museums there is, for the history there is. Then we have what I would say Chapinero. Then you see the transformation of the architecture, that it's way more European. And this is a zone that I will way more recommend to stay if you want to local experience. And it's what they call Chapinero Alto, the higher end Chapinero. This basically just the more you go through the north, it's getting safer kind of idea. I mean, it's also depending, as long as you stick to the main things like Carrera Séptima or Avenida Norte. Moving through Chapinero Alto, this is the place, and Rosales is kind of like a very nice, quiet, not too party-like neighborhood. Very nice, very sweet. I really like it. It's like through the north, and then you have something like La Zona Financiera. You have like a nice mall there. You have the beautiful tall buildings. You have the architecture. You have a very, very nice part of old kind of steel architecture of Bogota. You might be more close to, like, further from the museums and more close to the international restaurants, more like you can experiment with different cuisines. There's a lot of like different cuisines and different cafes and different and startups and different kind of experiences you have with these different locals here. But it's more towards like the food, and like towards the food, and towards like a residential nice area that I think I enjoy, because I like silence and being quiet, not too much party. So that's kind of the thing. I really like it. And then you start to move on, you keep going through north, and then you have La 85, again, a nice place to stay if you want. There you have a little more the party, and you will see locals partying like Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Jueves. And it's definitely sort of full of high-end restaurants and bars and discos, and it's more that way. So I really like it. You have malls, and this is kind of more like the rich area. If I had to choose, I would say a little still Chapinero Alto and not north. Chapinero still has this local essence to it. And then after that 85, then you have, La 93, again, in Cabrera and stuff. Again, interesting area. You would like to stay there still. Is the norther you go, it's safer. So like at this Chapinero Alto on, it's kind of safe, you know, like. So from 93, that's supposedly the richest area of Bogota. Then you're gonna have the high-end boutique hotels, and you're gonna have the kind of high-end restaurants. Not necessarily all are there, some of them are there in these areas of Chapinero Alto. You're gonna have the it's definitely a safe area, this 93 and 83 and 85 is definitely safe, all safe. And then after that, you are going to move to the north. Then you have Usaquén, another interesting area. Again, there is a very important mall there, and still you have some cool things happening the weekends, like Ciclovia, when they close the main road and then everybody can just walk and go on their bikes. You also have markets there going on sometimes in the week. You have amazing coffee shops. It's very cool. It's very familiar too for families, for people who I really like that area. Definitely recommend too. And then you go through more the north. Then you have more like, again, that's Usaquén still, like towards like 100, 145, 100. Like the further you go, that's definitely residential. Definitely residential. Very few malls around. Very few things to do there. Very familiar like. So that's more like up to you. And now the norther you go, it's just kind of empty-ish. Actually, the rich people in Bogota, they like to go out of the city and they live towards the 200, like very, very at north, like Chia, Cota. That's where they have like the big houses. And that's kind of like, there's kind of nothing there. So I would say, if I was a tourist, if you were traveling in a budget, like to close this video, if you are traveling in a budget, stay in Candelaria. That is kind of like cooler, but also like for young people, young, curious, culturally hungry people. Then you have the more quiet, like if you're like a little more like upper budget and also like older, let's say, you might like Rosales. There's a lot of things to do around and it's kind of central in the middle. And then you would have 93, 85. If you're in a pretty flexible, very like chill budget, you can just do whatever you want, buy any groceries, anything is gonna be sort of more expensive in this area. It's not gonna be local like cheap prices around. And then, and that's basically it. Then you have Usaquén, that is also a pretty cool area that you want to explore. And then after that area, I would just not be sure of if you want to live in the residential areas. They're pretty quiet, there's nothing going on there. You will have to take some sort of like Transmilenio, the main public mode of transportation, or some taxi or some Uber to kind of bring you to where things are going on, because there's not much going on there, but you can also be there, and it's still, that's definitely like cheap-ish prices, a little more, like lower then. So that was my vision of where to stay in Bogota. Rank on prices, I would say the most expensive, 93. Then we go 85. That's the name of the areas. They have numbers, I know. 85, la zona rosa. Then you have Chapinero Alto, that is still like sharing. Then you have definitely prices go a little lower in Usaquén, and then they go lower in La Candelaria. So that's my rank. I hope it was useful, and see you in another video. Bye bye.